Attention, the following broadcast has been approved by Outcasted OC. Viewer discretion is advised. Incoming transmission in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up guys, Moog and Ross here giving you this week's SmackDown review. We're going to dive straight in because there is so much to talk about, especially because of the gauntlet match that happened. So let's open it up. We dive straight in with the Bloodline being told that Tangaloa isn't cleared because he was eye gouged by Kevin Owens, and for their actions of last week it seems like they're going to have to forfeit, which so let's kind of like businessman handles it, being like, I understand your concerns, but we also have another member of the Bloodline that will step in for this situation, being in Jacob Fatu. So respectfully, it's going to be Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu fighting for the tag belts. And they seemed okay with that. I hate this. It doesn't make sense. An eye gouge like that wouldn't be not medically cleared. Like, I just find that really stupid as part of the storyline. And you're now actually getting rid of Gorillas of Destiny as a tag team, which has been multiple tag team winners for put together Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga. Don't get me wrong, I love both Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu respectively, but I don't see them as good as a tag team as Gorillas of Destiny that we've seen throughout the years. And Tangaloa really is now falling out of place at the Bloodline, which doesn't do him any favours. You've signed Gorillas of Destiny. Use them. Not use Tama Tonga and his brother occasionally. Like, you're making Tangaloa just bad in general. Like, you're not making him look any interesting now. I understand you need someone to take the hits for the team, like how JD McDonough was for the Judgment Day, but this is not looking good in his favour. But yeah, Nick Aldis kind of basically says, I'm okay with this. Yeah, you're in. LA Knight does a walk-in promo from backstage to the ring, states how Santos forgot how many times he's been dropped on his head and just didn't want to basically let LA Knight have a smooth ride into SummerSlam. He had to keep running his mouth. So class is in session. He's going to teach him a lesson about that. But when it comes to SummerSlam, Logan, he isn't going to teach you any stats, no English, just how to get your ass kicked. And like, it's the same curriculum with everybody saying LA Knight. I thought it was a pretty great promo. Yeah, we go into the match straight away. LA Knight versus Santos Escobar. LA Knight has a strong start with already doing his heavy hitting swings and has a quite nice arm drag against Santos. Santos gets the momentum back and stomps LA Knight into a corner and does several chops. A big suplex and a sharpshooter was applied to LA Knight, but LA Knight broke out of this and got some strikes back in. Elektra slapped LA Knight when LA Knight fell to the middle rope when the ref wasn't looking, and then Santos hit a 619. LA Knight finds some momentum as he gets back up. He goes and hits a neck breaker, but Santos also followed it up with a back breaker. LA Knight starts hitting what most people refer to as a comeback in wrestling, so a frequency of moves back and forth. He looks like he's going to hit the BFT. That gets missed because Elektra slides in again. As this comes through for Santos to try and hit, LA Knight hits a big power slam. Once again, crazy stuff happens as Logan Paul runs out to try and fight LA Knight. LA Knight dodges Logan Paul's swing, lariats him. Santos finds the time to hit a kick to the jaw and then goes for the Phantom Driver. LA Knight breaks out of this, hits the blunt force trauma and gets a 1-2-3 count. Santos and Logan start both deciding to beat down on LA Knight and have like a handshake agreement, and then Logan hits with a frog splash on LA Knight, and that's how that kind of segment ended. I could see where it's going. I could see that Logan Paul is going to somehow win in his hometown, and then Santos would be like, look, I did you this favour, I softened up LA Knight for you, I want a match opportunity. That's how I see this going, but I personally want LA Knight to win. I want the hometown hero of Logan Paul to lose, especially because he is a heel. It'll be very interesting to see how that happens, where it's watching his own crowd that are meant to be, you know, supporting him as still against his views, especially against someone like LA Knight. It'll be very cool to see how that goes. Naomi has an interview about their Blair Davenport. There we go. I got the name out in the end. I was fighting her name because I always knew her as Bea Priestley for the longest time. But yeah, basically says she hasn't done anything to agitate Blair. I don't get what's going on, but I've got something in mind that will not only make her feel the glow, but also respect the glow. You have Jade and Bianca come out in moral support, be like, yeah, you handle your business, we gonna handle ours. We're gonna get this rematch in order and see what Isla Fire and Alba Dawn are doing. So, yeah, they start heading to the ring. Logan gets interviewed as he was walking backstage as well. Said, yeah, that was just a preview. Take that as the first course in a 3-course meal. Yeah, you don't know what's coming. You're not just fighting anyone. You're fighting the megastar, YouTube megastar. And also stated about how he spoke to the mayor of his hometown and they've got a big hometown surprise organised and planned. And yeah, just basically mocks LA Knight's yeah chant as well and walks off. We have Jay come to the ring with Bianca shortly following after. They come to call out Isla and Albad, like literally nothing crazy other than, oh, you said you're going to be here. You said you're going to show the tag belt. You said you're going to be in person. Where they at though? Like, and keep shouting where they at though. Until they appear and Alba Fire and Isla Dawn jump backstage, get into this fight with them. And it seems like Bianca's going to hit a KOD on Isla Dawn. Isla Dawn breaks out, but Jade gets the opportunity to kind of like chokehold, powerlift Alba up, and then just throws her straight into Dawn. So, yeah, they're already aiming that match, and that is going to happen next week on Friday Smackdown, not at SummerSlam. These kind of tag matches would have been nice to be added to SummerSlam, but I understand why it's not. We've got the Street Profits backstage with Terence Crawford hyping them up, which was really cool. Just a little throwaway thing, but it was nice to see that there as they are going to be involved in the gauntlet match. Tiffany's briefcase is mashed up and has purple and green tape like holding it together, but Nia said she will get her a perfect new one for her and said, you know, you could cash in on her tonight, but I hope you wouldn't because then that would affect my guaranteed match at SummerSlam. And Tiffany was like, no, I wouldn't plan on doing that. I just want to get revenge on Bayley now and we'll do it in this match. And I was like, is that so? So that happens. Tag team gauntlet match opens with Corbin and Apollo Crews, which is a very put together tag team. I feel like it's kind of a disservice to Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. They both got re-signed and drafted to SmackDown, and all they've been given is them put in a tag team. So I'm not very happy about that. But they showed up and showed out. They beat Legado Fantasma of Angel and Berto, which makes sense because Angel and Berto have been causing a menace towards them. Yeah, we got some really early power moves from Corbin. Apollo hit this nasty like landing and just shouldn't have really continued the match from how it looked, but he powered through and he was still doing high flying crazy stuff. But yeah, so they beat Los Fantasma, so Baron and Apollo are the first one with one win down in the gauntlet. Next team up is Street Profits coming out. Montez shows his athleticism and shows he is hot fresh in the ring, where Apollo also counters and does a flip back and kind of laughs. Them two look at each other and like, yep, cool. You see Apollo hit a really nice drop kick, and Apollo, as I said, got really badly dropped with this belly to back suplex that happened where he landed on both shoulders and really shouldn't have continued the match, but he still powered through. Corbin had some really cool momentum as well in the match, some really good solid punches, and this really nice spot that's been happening the past couple of times where Apollo will assist throw Corbin onto the outside to do a dive and knock him out, which he did. He landed on both of them. We got Montez hitting an Insiguri on Cruz and get a 2 count, but Baron stopped it in the last second. Then there was this really awesome moment of both Apollo and Montez look at each other while they're in the ring. See Dawkins is one side, see Baron's the other side, and they both, like, stereophonic, like, both exact same time, both hit the dives to each other on the outside, which looked really cool. Apollo goes for a splash and misses. Dawkins sees the opportunity to just lay in a really heavy strike and basically rocks him. Montez gets the pin from hitting his own splash and gets a 1-2-3. So we now have Apollo is out, and so is Baron Corbin. They did get one elimination in the gauntlet, and then we go into the third team being pretty deadly, being yes boys. This match was very much a lot of the same. They had a game plan and they were very much being the heels that they are always known for. Targeted to Montez, constantly went for his leg, made it really difficult for Montez to carry on fighting that way. Dawkins was kind of the MVP of this part of the gauntlet match because anytime he was tagged in, he was rushing down, doing crazy spots, going for Elton a lot in this. You see Pretty Deadly really hit this corner combo and a massive gutbuster on Dawkins. And in that last second where Montez has basically been out most of this match because of his leg hurting, comes in, saves the day. Dawkins and Montez hit the blockbuster and they're still in the gauntlet. They have took out two teams now and we get the Good Brothers rushing down into the ring. After the break, we see Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows hitting this combo in the corner onto Montez. Very much doing a lot of the same here, where their game plan was more to put him in headlocks, kind of gas him out, make sure that he can't breathe long enough. But once again, Montez finds this momentum, finds these times to hit a DDT, a really cool stuff. And out of nowhere, we see this really cool spot where Dawkins just kind of gets out of a spinebuster situation. Like, he gets hit by the spinebuster, but gets out of it, sees a very fast opportunity, doing a quick tag over to get the roll-up count for a 3, which I thought was very interesting that the Good Brothers went out on a roll-up. And they keep getting, like, out of these opportunities of, like, number 1 contenders. I feel like they're a very strong tag team that deserve those opportunities and chances if you gave them the chance, but you keep kind of killing that momentum for them. But I understood where the storyline was going for this gauntlet match. Last people in, Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga. Tama is beating the ever-living hell out of Dawkins. Heavy double headbutt from Jacob and Tama. Jacob had this really awesome spot where he just kind of throws Tama Tonga mid-ring and Tama hits a cannonball, kind of like Kevin Owens style, and I was like, oh, interesting. But yeah, they kind of basically have this game plan of start attacking them in between the ropes and then distract the ref so Solo can attack. So Solo started attacking Dawkins again, choking him out on the rope for a little bit longer, and then when Fatu did the same, Solo saw the opportunity to just sucker punch him really quick, and then there was a moment where Jacob Fatu goes to try and run and just power slam them into it, misses, hits the top turnbuckle and pole area, so he looks dazed and looks like potentially one of the biggest parts that's going wrong. Montez hits with a huge crossbody, but he's still looking hurt from all the previous matches. And then, yeah, there was just constant momentum from the Bloodline into this, where we see Montez tries to go for his splash, but he rolled away from it. And a really cool spot from Dawkins is that I keep seeing now, which usually is he'll powerhouse slide out, fight everyone on the outside. And as he was fighting everyone on the outside, Montez has run over, done his usual flick from the top corner, took out all 3. And yeah, the Fatu getting back into the ring as well had a moment where he basically looks like an RPG missile, like how he would just shot through the rope straight to Dawkins on the outside, and then runs back into the ring, sees Montez is down on the floor there, and goes for his moonsault and gets the 1-2-3, which sucked. I really wanted the Street Profits to win this, but I understand the storyline of the Bloodline. They want to try and tease that potentially the Bloodline is going to get all the gold again in their situation that they're having, where it's, you know, SummerSlam is pretty much next week now, so they want to stay over the whole weekend. They will get all the gold back, and I see where that's going. Waller and Theory quickly steal the spotlight just before they go into the interview with Cody Rhodes, asking Terrence Crawford to calm down and apologise to the best tag team in the world, because Crawford passed a chair to Cody when they were having that fight. but it's stupid to call out a 40-0 fighter, in my opinion. Like, Terrence would legitimately knock them out, and that ends up being what happens. Fury didn't really want to have this back and forth, like, instigation or anything. It was all Waller's side, and Waller said, you step any closer to me, my mate Fury will knock you out. So Terrence, being Terrence, didn't even give him the chance to. Terrence just punched him and sucked him out. So Waller just runs out. He's like, I'm done. I've got away from it. Cody gives a backstage interview reflecting on the chaos of this new bloodline, saying there is no real wolf leader. Cody is going into SummerSlam fighting completely on his own because Kevin Owens and Randy have been injured from this battles that he's been fighting with this new bloodline, but states, just know I am the champion and I will still walk out champion. I've been reflecting on my past and all the things and all the adversities that were already stacked against me. This is just another stepping stone, which I thought was a really cool interview. It gives that kind of perspective of how he's looking at himself as a champion, knowing that the new bloodline is a difficult area to be in, but he's still willing to go out and fight and make sure he doesn't lose at SummerSlam. We also have an interview with Andrade saying he's interested in the stock of the US title after he had a great match against Melo. Melo comes out and kind of argues and was like, nah, this isn't done till I'm done. Everyone has one bad match. Even take, like, you know, best basketballers in the world, they still have one awful night. Andrade says, like, another basketballer's name that is kind of frowned upon, I think. I'm not too technical on basketball, so correct me in the comments on this one. But yeah, he was like, fine, you want one more match? No problem. Shakes hand. And he was like, yeah, that's all it needs. We get to the main event of Michin and Bayley versus Nia and Tiffany. Michin is walking down doing her usual hype the crowd, but Nia Jax and Tiffany end that very quickly, rush down and attack her, throwing her into the stairs, power slamming her, making it very difficult. Ref didn't intervene or step in. He kind of looked scared to do so. Bayley follows through very shortly after, runs in with kendo stick and goes to chase them off. Shouts at the ref like, what the heck were you doing? Why didn't you help sooner? And this plays into Bayley basically does a 2-on-1 match. A lot of momentum happening. All I could say is some of the highlights in this match was Bayley really showed she can hold it down as a 2 against 1. There was a really cool spot where Michin tries to seem like she goes to tag in and Nia grabs her and Samoan slams her onto the outside again. So Michin once again is stuck on the outside. Little bit of cool combinations between Tiffany and Nia, nothing too crazy. I did like seeing where Tiffany saw the opportunity while Nia was fighting Michin on the outside to hit her boots into Bayley. But yeah, you could see that Michin tried her best when she finally does get tagged in. I will say she did some really cool spots. Hit a nice DDT that really planted Tiffany on her head. There was a really awesome moment where both tags happened. Bayley snuck her tag in with Michin and Tiffany snuck a tag in for Nia. And we see this cool insecurity hit from Michin and Bayley hits a knee and a flying elbow. But as the ref wasn't looking, Tiffany does what Tiffany does best. Grabs her briefcase, smacked it across Bayley's head and gets Nia to have the opportunity to do the Annihilator for a 3 count. And that was your main event, but we didn't end the show on that. We ended the show on a Bloodline talking segment where they state, I'll see you next weekend, and next weekend we will handle family business where the Bloodline will be back on top with all the gold. And if Roman has a problem with that, he knows where to find me, where everyone else was. Like a beaten down Randy, beaten down Cody, beaten down Kevin Owens, and you will acknowledge me. I find this very interesting where the storyline is going. Let me know what you guys think though. Let me know how you found this SmackDown. It was a decent watch. I feel like a lot of it all focused around the gauntlet, and I enjoyed a lot of that gauntlet. I always do enjoy tag team wrestling. I think it is a unique experience, especially when you have cool team synergy. But yeah, we will have to see how the go home show of SmackDown is before SummerSlam next week continues these stories or wraps them up to lead into SummerSlam. But let me know once again what you guys thought in the comment section. If you like these videos, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss when we do a video, and look forward to the next videos we have. On Tuesdays we always have the Monday Night Raw review, and then on Wednesdays we have Tuesday night's NXTs, and then obviously, as you see, on a Saturday morning we always have myself or G do a SmackDown review on that week. So yeah, see you guys on the next one.